And we are live. Today, I will go through Twitter. What Twitter has, what posts has I been have I been saving during the week? Let's see what the people have to say. And in a half an hour, I will be recording a session with my good man Andy from Finding Finance. As mentioned here, it should be up within a day or two. So definitely check that one out. I think we have some good stuff in store for you guys. A lot of uranium, of course, gold and silver, gold, oil, the dollar. There's tons of good stuff, I think. So please check that one out when it gets out. And let's get into the charts. It's been a week since I have done this Twitter recap, whatever you want to call it. So some of the charts are a bit outdated, if depending on the time frame, of course. But let's see what's in store for today. Cycles fans here, silver. Big up week and close above the 10 weekly MA, which confirms that it made a weekly cycle low for week 15 3 weeks ago. On this weekly cycle, it's likely to get at least to March 2022 that high, $27. And you can see here the cycles, the low, the high, low, the low, and then we have another low here and a big up week for silver. This is it's the 15th of July, so it's somewhat new, and yeah, this is a massive weekly candle taking out the very red candle or bearish candle before, or like a month before. This is very bullish, and we are personally, I think we are in for the break of the 26th level, which is, according to my analysis, the level to get through. I have shown that before in different videos, but 26 for me is where we really set things for breaking the 30 and then getting close to getting to the 40s somewhat quickly. So yeah, that's my take on it. North Star here, let's see what he has to say. Interest payments on US government debt are getting interesting. And just have a look at this one. I know it's not a technical chart, but still it kind of is. Just look at this massive surge here at the beginning of 2023. It's just, before we had 0% interest rates or very close to, and now we are just banging higher here. It's just gone absolutely parabolic in my view. And I hope you have some gold and silver because this is going to turn ugly, very bad within this decade, in my view. And when it does, it will happen insanely quickly. So, okay, look at this one here. This is Pinecone Macro. I was born at night, but this wasn't the last night. Just look at this one here. Yellen lands at China, and then boom, deeply and utterly collapse for the US dollar. And my take is that deals were made here. Deals were definitely made here. And possibly, China started to dump some dollars and so on. Also, if you look at the USD to the Swiss franc, it also dumped at exactly that moment. So yeah, some sketchy stuff is up, that's for sure. Yeah, let's see. Grady, my good man Grady here. I like this guy. USD has broken down from the pink, unbalanced head and shoulders. You can see it here. It's kind of, yeah, it's a bit iffy, but still it is there. Should see a reverse symmetry move back down. A new phase of my everything but USD move should start now. Many call for USD to go plus 120. It was never in the charts. And what he's saying here is, you can see it here, a bit of a skewed head and shoulders, but depending on how you see it, but still it's valid. It's a valid point, and we are breaking down here. And his take is that the UUP will go from 27.5 down to roughly 25.5. That's a big move. That's 10%. And when we talk about the USD or the dollar, that's a big move. 10%. That's a lot of money going out of the dollar. So again, I hope you have gold and silver because it's looking sketchy for the dollar, to say the least. Similar move here from Sahara. Great guy, actually. He has some amazing charts all the way around. I learned a lot from him. So yeah, definitely check him out and follow him because you will see some great charts from him. That's for sure. Similar also how I see it, we have the breakdown here at around 102, and now we broke the big level, which was 100.8, and we are breaking down now. So the dollar again, as you can see, he's pointing for a 10% correction, similar to what Grady has said. So yeah, the dollar is in for a major swing low here, and just remember, nothing goes in a straight line, as you can see here, all the way down. It's back and forth, but the overall trend is pointing down. You can see the moving averages here are starting to curl down like a waterfall. The dollar is going to, for the next 6 months or so, is going down. That's for sure. That's also my take. I agree. Finding value finance here. Let's see what he has to say. Now is the time to start thinking about how you're going to allocate your money, gold and silver stocks or ETFs. We have broken out for the precious metals, and usually miners will follow. SILJ is ETF is cheap compared to silver, and GDXJ is cheap compared to gold. So this is what he is charting here: the SILJ, silver junior miners divided by the silver. So we have the ratio, and we are, actually getting down to the 2016 ratio, still very close to the bottom of 2020 as well. I mean, starting to accumulate here makes perfect sense for the silver miners, and at some point we are going to see a rocket move higher. That's for sure. You can see the squeeze is coming down here also, so I think we're squeezing right here. So we should break out before 2024. So yeah, similar to the GDXJ to gold, this is a longer term. It's a 15-year-old chart. You can see the bear phase, and then we have the basing or the stage 1, and then we are going into a stage 2 right here. So in my view, we are going all the way back up to the top again here. One big rounding, bear phase, basing, bullish. And when we get bullish, you can see the trend line coming down here. So when we get above, let's call it 0.03, then we are in full-on stage 2 mode, in my view. So I agree. North Star, silver, 44 years. Let's do like this instead. 44 years, and here we are, just 2 red lines away, in the way of a new all-time highs. And yes, this cup and handle you have seen on my channel and also on Twitter many times. It's one of the most long-term bullish setups that there is right now. It's a 50-year-old setup. And yes, we will break the 50 high within 2 years, 3 years, maybe, depending on how fast it goes. And we will go higher from there. If you want to measure, the bottom here to the top, this is from $3 roughly to 50. So what is that? That is 17 times the move here. So that's $600 silver, roughly, more or less, even more, depending on how you go. That's actually a bit more, but still, we are going way higher for silver over the next 10 years. You can count on it. At least that's my take on it. And it's just, the chart is just amazing. So I agree with North Star. Burak, shorter term time frame. This is the guy. If you want to learn how to use trend lines, Burak is the man to follow. He's insanely good. I had him on the channel here like a month ago. I'm thinking on having him on again in like a month or so, to see if he has some time to do like a 10-minute or 15 minutes video. I enjoyed it last time, so I really want to have him back on again. Again, you can see here, shorter time frame still. It's 1 month, 2 months, whatever. We're breaking out to the upside. And you can see he has his red trend on here. So we will get into the 84s, 85s maybe before we see some pullbacks. So oil is looking good. And then we have JC Parrots. Time for some healthy sector rotation. Energy versus tech. And you can see here, this is the XLI divided by XLK, double bottom here. And then we have the XLE versus XLK. Again, you can see the squeeze or the downtrend here, which should reflect in a move to the upside. So again, energy is looking quite good. Still, there's some work to do, but overall, energy is looking like it wants to start to outperform again, just like it did late 2020. And here we have Michael A. I can't pronounce it anyways. Who would have thought then, Apollo? The SP500 performance and the FedNet QE since the pandemic began. Perfect, perfect correlation, more or less. So whenever they start to print money, the SP500 goes up. So there is no free market. It's all about liquidity in the system and not how good or bad a company is performing. It's just pure free money into the system, more or less. Stefano Butalio, something like that. Let's see what he has to say. GDX gold, I think it is appropriate to switch from SPY to GDX. The signals will probably arrive next week. And this was on the 8th of July, so that's a week ago. You can clearly see here, this is the GDX divided by the SPY. We are again at the lower of this expanding wedge, and he has a target all the way up here. If that were to happen, strap on your seatbelts because this will be a big, big move. Also similar, if you look purely on the GDX down here, we have a double bottom again. Looks good. You have the bullish crossover on the MACD. Looks good. So it looks like, the commodities and energies will be the place to be for the next half year, 1 year maybe, compared to the tech sector and so on, because you can see the ratio charts are looking in favor of these and this sector, and I agree. I totally agree. But let's get the confirmation, get the breakout above, and then we can say that the rotation is coming in. But it's looking good. It's looking really good. I think that was all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below if you think that energies are going to outperform, or gold and silver for that matter, because energies and gold are very high correlated with each other. So have a nice week and enjoy the summer, and we will see you in the next one.